Hello friends, welcome to Insights Icon Initiative. In today's video, we are going to discuss about Model Code of Conduct. You all know that Model Code of Conduct has been implemented in 5 states, which are the poll bound very soon. So before we further discuss, let us see the syllabus mapping. Then we will go to the video components. First, let's see the syllabus mapping. This particular video is related to Gender Studies Paper 2, that is Indian Polity and Constitution. Let's see the video components. In this video, we are going to discuss about why it is in news, that is context. As I mentioned earlier, Election Commission of India has noticed, given the notification regarding the, schedule to assembly elections in 5 states, such as Mizoram, Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, and Telangana. So, election notification has been announced to these 5 states. As soon as the election schedule is announcing, then this model code of conduct will be implemented. Now we are going to discuss about what is this model code of conduct. Meanwhile, if you know, tell me. So who was the chief election commissioner during which time this model code of conduct came into, came into prominence very much. It was been highlighted or else it been enforced very strictly. Who was the chief election commissioner? Please keep your answer in the comment section. And model code of conduct for political parties and the candidates, and recent additions to the model code of conduct regarding the print advertisements. Previously, model code of conduct used to applicable to the this digital campaign. Nowadays, there are certain safeguards were added regarding the print media campaign as well. We'll discuss. In case if this model code of conduct is violated, then what kind of action can be initiated against the political parties as well as the candidates? Then criticism against the model code of conduct. All these things we are going to discuss in this particular video. First, you have to understand the model code of conduct has come into effect in 5 poll bound states. These states are Mizoram, Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, and Telangana. Who announces election notification to the state assemblies? Obviously, Election Commission of India. Now, the Election Commission of India is leading by Chief Election Commissioner Rajiv Kumar. Results related to all these 5 states will be declared on 3rd of December. Even though elections are happening at different dates to these states, results will come on the same day, that is 3rd of December. What is model code of conduct? So, model code of conduct is a time gap between election notification till the election results are announced. This is about the model code of conduct. So, in this duration, every political party as well as the political party candidate, they have to behave in a certain manner so that elections can be conducted in a free and fair manner. This is the main purpose of the model code of conduct. You know, in democracy, model code of conduct is very essential because model code of conduct will ensure free and fair elections, which is the lifeline of the democracy. Model code of conduct is nothing but set of guidelines issued by ECI, which regulates political parties as well as the candidates. It ensures the free and fair elections. Election Commission of India has constitutional status under Article 324. This MCC is operational from when? From the date of election schedule to till the date of the results are announced. In this entire time, model code of conduct will be announced. And before the date of election, before 48 hours, all the campaign has to be stopped. All sort of campaign has to be stopped by the political parties so that they cannot influence voters. But here, the print media campaign is allowed, is subjected to certain approvals by the screening committee. That means on the polling day also, political party can campaign through newspapers. You might have observed recently in the Karnataka elections. This evolution of MCC. MCC, for the first time, it was originated in the assembly election of the Kerala in 1960. After then, since the Lok Sabha elections in 1962, this model code of conduct started implementing across the nation. But in spite of that, till 1991, it was not implemented effectively. But from 1991, the Election Commission of India started enforcing the model code of conduct in a very strict manner. Here you have to understand, model code of conduct don't have any legal or statutory backup. These rules are framed or implementing as a part of Representation of People Act 1951. According to this MCC, there are certain prohibitions. Political parties cannot campaign through loudspeakers after 10 p.m. before 6 a.m. That means 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. campaigning is not allowed. And political parties cannot criticize each other on the name of the like caste as well as communal feelings. And they should not bribe, they should not intimidate voters. All this comes under the model code of conduct. Of course, you can criticize others on the name of the policy, but on the name of their performance, but you should not like incite violence among the communities. And the meetings also, if political party would like to conduct a meeting, then obviously they have to inform the entire meeting details to the local authorities so that local authorities can plan their activities. So law and order issues will not happen. Processions also have to be informed to these local authorities. And Election Commission of India will appoint observers. These observers will ensure whether the political parties are following the model code of conduct or not. And the polling day also, voters will be given the voter slip. On the voter slip, no political party symbol should be there, and it should only contain information related to the voter. And one more thing, so whoever approved by the political party, those approved persons will be allowed into the polling station as a political party agents. So political party agents also bound to act according to model code of conduct. Why this model code of conduct been implemented? Because the party which is in power, they are in the government. If this kind of model code of conduct is not there, then they can act arbitrarily. They can use government resources. They can announce policies, new schemes, so that they can influence the voters. To prevent that, this model code of conduct came into existence. And of course, if any public representative violated the model code of conduct, it comes under disqualification, Article 102, Clause 1, if that person win in the election. For example, Indira Gandhi won the election in 1971, but later Raj Narayan filed a case against Indira Gandhi on the accusation that Indira Gandhi misused the government machinery. That is a violation of model code of conduct. That is also resulted to electoral offences. So she was disqualified in 1975, you know that. And model code of conduct, it tried to control the election parties, political party manifestos as well. But controlling the political party manifestos is very difficult, because manifesto represents the social as well as the economic policies of the particular political party. Election Commission of India don't have any powers at the moment to control the manifesto. But the only thing Election Commission of India can enforce is, once a particular political party announces the manifesto, they have to send their hard copy to the Election Commission of India according to the section 126 of the Representation of People Act 1951. Some recent additions, like I said earlier, when political parties are giving the print media advertisement on the polling day or one day before the polling day, those advertisements have to go through the screening committee. If the screening committee passes those advertisements, then only they can be published. Is the model code of conduct legally enforceable? No, it cannot be legally enforceable. That you have to understand. In 2023, Standing Committee on Personal Public Grievances, Law and Justice, it recommended that MCC should be legally binding, and it also recommended that MCC should be a part of the Representation of People Act 1951. But so far, MCC is not part of Representation of People Act 1951. That you have to understand. What if the model code of conduct is violated? Obviously, the Election Commission of India give warning to those kind of people. If they win in the election, and if someone files a case against them, like they also face similar kind of fate, like Indira Gandhi versus Raj Narayan case. Criticism of the model code of conduct. Obviously, what is the main criticism? It is, unable to curb the malpractices. In spite of the model code of conduct, politicians are keep on giving the hate speech, and they are intimidating the voters, and they are distributing the money as well. Due to lack of legal enforceability, these political parties and people representatives, they are not taking this very seriously. And model code of conduct is also interfering with the governance, because as soon as the model code of conduct come into effect, government cannot issue any, announce any public policies or announce any schemes. So that in one way it is also acting as a hindrance to good governance. Because of this ground also, some people are arguing that simultaneous elections should happen in India. Because every now and then elections are happening in India. Whenever elections are happening, model code of conduct coming into picture, that resulted to the stopping of public policies which is affecting the good governance. That is also one of the stand. And this, like lack of awareness is also one of the reason. These are some of the criticism on the model code of conduct. Then who has to implement this model code of conduct? Election Commission of India. Let us see some basic information regarding the Election Commission of India. Election Commission of India was established on 25th January 1950. It is a constitutional body. It conducts election to President, Vice President, Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, Assembly as well as Council. Election Commission of India function, duties, their powers mentioned in Part 15. Election Commission of India established on 25th January 1950. In Part 15, Article 324 to Article 329 deals with the Election Commission of India functions. Out of this, while 324 is dealing with the Election Commission of India, 325 deals with the voter list and 326 deals with the universal adult franchise. You have to remember that. So, Election Commission of India led by Chief Election Commissioner CEC. CEC is appointed by the President and CEC can be removed similar to Supreme Court as well as the High Court judge. The tenure of the CEC is 6 years or the 65 years. There is no tenure mentioned in the Constitution regarding the Election Commissioner. And the strength of the Election Commission of India also, Constitution mentioned that only one member body and it can be further extended by the Parliament. Of course, based on that, Parliament extended the strength of Election Commission of India from one member body to 3-member body. Now the Election Commission of India is, one is Chief Election Commissioner, the other two are Election Commissioners. The removal is similar to Supreme Court as well as High Court judges. Composition also I mentioned. And these are some of the other functions of the Election Commission of India. Yesterday's video question: who took over the Palestine after the downfall of the Ottoman Empire? After the downfall of Ottoman Empire, who took control? Britain took control over the Palestine. Let's see the today's question. Today's question is, with reference to Constitution, provisions contained in ordinary laws cannot act as a prohibition or limitations on the constitutional powers under Article 142. It could mean which of the following? So what does it mean? Read the question carefully and try to answer the question. Mains question. Discuss the role of Election Commission of India in the light of the evolution of Model Code of Conduct. In the context of Model Code of Conduct, what is the role of Election Commission of India? This is the mains question. Now, as we reach to this end of this video, let us revise quickly. In this video, we discussed about the Model Code of Conduct because recently Election Commission of India announced this poll schedule to 5 states. In this context, what is Model Code of Conduct? What are things allowed in the Model Code of Conduct? What are prohibited we discussed, and the legal enforceability of the Model Code of Conduct. Election Commission of India, its constitutional status, its structure we discussed, and the appointment of Chief Election Commissioner and the removal of the Chief Election Commissioner and Election Commissioner also we discussed. So this is a detailed analysis regarding the Model Code of Conduct.